All right, guys, before we get going, you know what we got to do. We got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the support. Shout out to Tony, Starla, Luke, Jacob, Jeff, Adam, Chuck, and Justin. Thank you guys so much for your continued support and helping support this silly little show that Luke and I do. So it means the world to us. Also, real quick, if you want to come join the Discord as well, we got the Discord link in the episode notes as well. Come hang out with everybody in there. So many drivers in there, such good people. Any questions you have about work, you can ask the questions there, and a lot of very smart people in there as well, whether it become union stuff or just looking for advice or just life in general, you know. We're a bunch of good people in there, so come join that as well. But enough about that stuff, guys. We got episode 178 about to get underway. We got a very special guest joining us. He comes all the way down from Southern California. You guys might have recognized him on TikTok under the name Glenn Papa. Guys, let's get this one going, shall we? This is episode 178. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back. Drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of All in a Delivery. This is episode 178, and we got a fun one here for you guys, so let's get it started, all right? Going around the table to my co-host down in West Ballard, Virginia. Come here, let me see you. Luke, how are you, buddy?
Well, as I said on this last week's episode, as you know, these are pre-recorded, so the fun prediction to make of how peak's going. I remember I'd like to say the hours aren't too long. Saturdays have been getting done early, but who the hell knows? We'll find out. Saturdays are voluntary. We know that, but I might not work all of them, but we'll see when this comes out if I've worked. I'd like, my birthday's on the first weekend of December, so I can't, my wife would kill me if I worked that one, so that one I won't be, but anyways, yeah, I'm, as a prediction of how the week's going, I'm sure it's going swell. I'm probably helpless, though, so I've got nothing to say to that. Yeah, I'm good, brother. Doing good.
Good, man. Good, buddy. Good to see you. Yes, same here, right? I mean, I'm definitely not working Saturdays. I'll tell you that right now. That's Saturday, Sundays are my weekends to myself and my family, man. That's my devoted time. So
they try to reel him in, and he just keeps prying away.
Yeah. Any way you could turn that no into a yes this Saturday for us? Nah.
I mean, I feel like I worked all of them but one last year, and I just get, like, you know, I've said it before, if we got the OT like the old days, it would be, maybe I wouldn't be as inclined to do it, but like last year I just was kind of more driven, but the peak before that I didn't, it was, you know, I was working less hours, working 6 days a week than I would working 5 the rest of the year, but kind of ebbs and flows sometimes, but I had a busy one last year, so yeah, I guess time will tell.
That's it. And let's get to our special guest, shall we, guys? Like I said at the top, coming all the way down from Southern California. Like I said, you might have seen him before on TikTok under the name Glenn Papa. We tried to actually record this past weekend, but his Dodgers were in a very serious game 7 in the World Series, and I was like, we can't record right now, like, you know, so we put it off. We made it work. He's here with us. Glenn, congratulations on the World Series win. Back-to-back champs. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, guys. I appreciate you guys having me, man. This was the first time for everything, and I'm just glad to be here. I appreciate you guys having me.
Well,
Yeah.
we're happy to have you on, man. And it was so, like, Dave was even saying, like, dude, to have gotten a lot, like, to have, like, we would have had to, if there would have been a way we could have, like, and I don't know, Dave, would you have been able to have a plop, like, if we could have had, like, a side, like, put a fourth screen up here and actually be the game?
Like stream
I
the
don't
game.
know.
Like,
I could, but since it went into 11 innings, that would have been a long ass episode. But it would have, it would have.
But the live reaction would have been sick.
The live reaction would have been incredible because I honestly thought Toronto would win a game, maybe two max. I didn't expect it to go 7 games. So when I started watching, I was like, holy shit. And I was pulling for you. And I'm sorry, Ernie. Got to shout out my boy, Ernie Martinez, because he is a Padres fan. But I don't have a baseball team, Ernie. So if I've got to pull for people, when I pull for people, we were about to record an episode in Game 7 of the World Series. And as we had said before we started recording, like, Dave's a big Rangers fan, and I mean,
hockey,
professionally,
hockey, Rangers,
not
Texas Rangers, not
New York Rangers. He's a Mets fan in baseball, but he is. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to bring up a painful end to the season, but anyway, no, I was like, dude, we couldn't have asked you to do that because it's like if WVU was playing in the national championship in any sport, which is a big fucking pipe dream, but just we're saying hypothetically here, I would. There's no way I would have been able to be like, I would have been able to stare at it because I record in my basement. I don't have a TV down here anyway, so it would have been out of that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, when you said the first time for everything, I'll tell you how inexperienced I was with podcasting when we started this, and I've said this on plenty of episodes. The very first episode that we recorded, and there was 4 of us originally when we started, and I was in my living room with my TV on, and my wife was on the phone pretty much like in the hallways in the kitchen. And I told you before, like, my house, square footage wise, it's not that big of a house. So, like, I've got all this background noise, dude. I got a dog, a cat. I didn't have a daughter yet, but I had so much background noise in my living room, thinking it was a good idea to record a podcast episode. So, yeah, man, good
times.
So, yeah, I just figured I'd bring that up. No reason to, it's but yeah. So what was your, like, going through it to go back through the game, dude? Like when it got to extra innings, were you confident then? Because as a fan, dude, I'm just like outside looking in. I mean, everybody knows the Dodgers are pretty stacked. So, I mean, as a fan, I feel like you got to be feeling good when they got to extra innings when they tied it up.
Yeah, when Miggy hit the home run to tie it up, I was like, dude, I'm like, are you serious? And then he hasn't played. He hasn't played in a while, and he's been off, but Dave Roberts made some moves, and he made some defensive moves and on offense too, and he put him on the lineup, or he brought him in. And when he went down, he had a full count. When he went full count, I was like, oh man! And then when he hit it and hit the home run, I was ecstatic. I was struggling with it because I was like, man, because it just play after play after play, they're grounding out into double plays, and it's like, man. The Blue Jay, like the crowd noise from the home team, and like it just gets you. And you're like, man, but I had to get my rally cap. I put my rally cap on, turned it inside out, and I still have it I still left it like that. I still left it like this. Yeah. So
nice.
I was wearing it, and my son wanted to do his. He has a new World Series. I'm like, nah, dude, don't ruin your new hat. So he got his old hat. He did the same thing because my son's a big Dodgers fan himself, and
awesome.
man, when they tied it up, dude, we were excited. And then when Will Smith hit that home run to take the lead, we're like, wow, we're like, yeah. And then at the end, when they went to the extra innings, we ended up winning. I was like, it popped off. People started doing fireworks. I have these lights under the house, under the facial board. They're blue. I lit them up blue. Everybody was yelling and going up and down the streets, and it was exciting. It was
Man,
really
that makes
exciting.
me wish. God, I wish I had like. I don't. We don't have any pro teams in West Virginia, but I'm like where I live. I'm like about an hour-ish away from Pittsburgh. So like everybody was like Pirates fans,
Yeah.
and I don't really like since we'd found out before we recorded we're basically the same age almost to the year. I mean, I'll be joining you at 41 next month. So do you remember when Barry Bonds played for the Pirates when we were kids? Like we were young,
Yeah.
like before he played for the Giants. So they played in the NLCS against the Braves, maybe call it like 1991 or 90 like, dude, I remember watching that game so like with friends of mine as kids, and I was a White Sox fan because Frank Thomas was my favorite player. I was a big, but because it was Pittsburgh at that time, everybody was a fan, so hadn't really found my niche, so I was into it, and it cracks me up because then they went like 18 or 19 years not even finishing 500, and I became an adult. And I was like, man, when they got kind of good again, not really to ever win a World Series, but to make the playoffs, and they made the wild card a couple times in the early days of the wild card. It got me excited again. So, dude, I could not imagine being like a lifelong fan. Your son's a fan, dude, living in this. God, that just makes me like even if I lived in Pittsburgh, Pirates aren't winning a World Series anytime soon. And maybe not. Maybe I'd say probably not in our lifetime, but we'll see. But dude, I could only imagine that had to be a great feeling. It's awesome. That's how Dave with his oldest son he's turned into loving baseball. So he's I mean, I know this episode's a little bit after but as we record this, Halloween just happened, and he was Mr. Met.
Oh yeah, my son wanted to be Mr. Met for Halloween. He wanted to be the mascot, and
yeah,
all right, buddy, like if that's what you want to do, that's totally cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He's 7, and just has fallen in love with the game of baseball. So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's pretty awesome, as you know. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. We've this past season was the first time I actually got to take him to some games, and we went to like 3 Mets games. And we're about a hour 45-minute drive from like Citi Field. We're just north of Queens and Manhattan and the whole city, New York City area. So so we've gotten down to like 3 games this past season. He just fucking loves it. It's so awesome. So
I took him to his first game. They were playing the Rockies, and there was they beat them Monday and Tuesday, so they were looking for the sweep on Wednesday. I found some tickets pretty inexpensive. I got them, and we were sitting field level by the left field foul pole, and we were like 1 row from the wall. And just him being there, his first game. Usually they for first timers they give you a little certificate, but they said they ran out.
Yeah,
they don't have no more pins and all that stuff. But we were right there, and then so they're doing batting practice. The Rockies were doing batting practice, and they're shagging balls. And then one of the trainers, he got one, and there was a kid next to him, and he tossed it to him. He caught it in his glove, and he took it out of his glove and handed it to my son. And I was like, "Are you for sure, dude?" Nice. He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "It's okay. I have a lot of them at home." And my son's face, he went from ear to ear, dude. Awesome. I was like, man. And then like the people around us, they were like, they found out. We told them that it was his first game and all that. And so at the end of the game, one of the ball boys was walking towards us, and he passed us, and they're like, hey, it's his first game. It's his first game. And he just like ignored us. But he went to the other side, give another kid a ball, and then he's walking back, and we lock eyes, him and I, and he reaches over and hands another ball. So he came back with two baseballs. And then my uncle works there. He's my dad's cousin, but I call him uncle. He's a security guard, and he's in the dugout. And he had told me when the game's over, come to aisle 27 and come say hi. So we went over there. We walked right up to we're right by the dugout. Like it was like, wow. And then he pulls out of his jacket another baseball. So my son ended up coming back with 3 baseballs. And then that night, I didn't know it was Otani's bobblehead night. I didn't know until we got there. And it was his first pitching bobblehead. And so we're like, he was so happy, man. And I gave mine to my daughter. Nice. I gave mine to my daughter. Nice. So I'm like, what am I gonna do with a bobblehead? And now she has it. So it was cool, man. And then he got to see Blake Snell pitch that day, and they shut him out. And they got the sweep. They shut him out, but it was a good game, and it was a good time for both of us. Yeah,
that's sick, dude. Dude, it's nothing like it. Bringing your kid to a game like that is fucking awesome.
Yeah, for sure, dude, for sure.
I got like watching what he did, what Ohtani did, and like, dude, it's like we had an episode a while back, you know, when all that shit had come up with his interpreter in the betting stuff and all that, and dude, it like it's crazy to me, and I'm not even talking. I don't give a shit, dude. I sports bet. They're talking to a dude that did it from the time I was 13. Dude, I've gone generations fucking gambling, so that shit's one thing you will never hear me cast fucking stones on. I don't really give a shit about that, but dude, like, it's crazy that he's that good and does shit like with. What did he do with the hit 2 home runs and had 10 strikeouts in one game? And like, you do shit that nobody's ever done before. And it's like, people, dude, like most baseball players or any professional athlete, dude, that would hang. People don't even care now. Like, it's an afterthought. People are like, oh, and I feel like everybody knew because we looked up the games. Like the ones when he was playing for the Angels and the games that his interpreter bet on that they lost. Dude, Ohtani, his ERA that game, he allowed like 6 runs and shit. Like, it could have been coincidence. But, dude, like, the guy's that good that something that's like, that was so bombshell at the time isn't even a freaking thought. Like, dude, he is what, I mean, there's nobody that ever, I mean, except if you go like way back, like Babe Ruth years and that shit. But dude, it's crazy to like, it's nuts to watch him play. Like, I don't know what his contract is, but dude, he deserves every fucking penny. And I know it's crazy big, but dude, yeah, man, I can't say, I'm not going to become a fan of any team really in baseball because I'm going to stick with the Pirates because they're local and I want to take my daughter to a game soon. I don't really watch. I'm not like I'm not going to probably ever be a diehard Pirates fan, but I'll stick with them because that'll be the opportunity that I'll be able to share like what you guys have had because I don't know how much my daughter likes basketball and football. Unfortunately, you know, she's petite. She ain't gonna be playing football. There's no. I wouldn't let her do that, but I would like to take her to a Pirates game. She's into sports, so we'll see. But anyway, and a long-winded answer about Ohtani is just, dude, what's there to say? Dude's incredible. But dude, I guess what I was getting at too is what I was all like. I as a fan and all that. What is your opinion on that? With that shit with his interpreter, do you think he had a hand in those games or not?
Maybe not. Who knows? You know, but
Nah, dude. I mean, it doesn't matter.
No
Dude's so
comment.
like he's so good that I don't think. But dude, like I don't know. I've always thought I don't like it. It bothers me that Pete Rose. And he even said it himself. Pete Rose even said he was like, "They'll put me in the Hall of Fame when I die." And literally, like when he passed away, they talked about. I don't know. It's a slippery slope when I try to talk about like, dude, it's getting crazy because I saw today on on Sport. It wasn't on Sports Center. It was on one of the news channels that there were six players that got caught shaving points in college now that playing like, dude, they're fixing games for Alabama A&M and Mississippi Valley State, and I'm thinking, dude. We got games like this being like it. I'll just say this and I'll end it with the whole betting crap because we're going to get into you taking us back and how you got in with UPS and growing up and everything. But I will die on the hill that sports betting had more integrity when it was illegal and not like it is now. I'm just going to say that. That's all.
Yeah. For sure.
Word. Well, buddy, Glenn, take us back, dude. How were you born and raised in Southern California?
Yeah, so I was born in it's LA, Hollywood. The hospital was called Queen of Angels in LA. And that hospital is still there, but it's not a hospital. They use different movies and stuff like that, but the building's still there. That was August 5th, 1984. And then it was just me and my mom. My dad worked. I stayed at home. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. And then my sister came, and then my other sister came, and then there was us three for a while. We lived in Glendale, California. And as our family was growing, we needed to get a bigger place. And then where we moved to, it was called Glassell Park. It's a subcity area of Los Angeles, and it was called Glassell Park, and that's northeast Los Angeles, and it's probably like 10 minutes from Dodger Stadium. And it's crazy because like from where my aunt lived, and one of the back rooms when they would light fireworks, you could see like the higher fireworks, you could see them. Like that's how close you live from to Dodger Stadium. So yeah, I kind of grew up as a Dodger fan because of my cousins, and my parents were not really into it, but more my cousins because they watched a lot of sports. And so yeah, growing up, a lot of baseball and football and stuff like that. And then they weren't really big into hockey, but I was. The Kings. I'm a Kings fan. I love the Kings, but and then Lakers. Not so much now because of the whole LeBron thing. I'm not a big LeBron fan. So I kind of boycotted. I'm kind of boycotting the Lakers because of that guy until he leaves. But lived in LA. We lived in LA.
It's coming eventually.
Yeah, right. I hope so. I'm like, hey, get out of here already. And then lived in LA for 17 years, and then we moved out of LA to the San Gabriel Valley, which is east of LA, passing the East LA way out here to a city called La Puente, California. In English, Bridgetown. The nickname Bridgetown. The reason they call it Bridgetown because going into that city, you got to either go under a bridge or go over a bridge. So that was the nickname for that city. But that was a long time ago, before my time and stuff. But my mom still lives there. I live in the city of Pomona, which is east of from there. It's like the borderline of Los Angeles County and the Inland Empire, which it's pretty cool out here. It's a nice little town and stuff like that. And then, I used to, before when I first as soon as I finished high school, I was working at this sandwich place called Togo sandwiches, Mickey sandwiches, and all that. Because two friends of mine were working there, and one of them got me the job. And I was there for like a year and a half, making minimum wage and going nowhere. And then I ended up getting fired, collected unemployment for a little bit, and I started going to the community college that was not too far from where I was living at. And I was going there and I'm like, damn, I need a job. And they have a career center. I'm like, hey, well, I'm entitled to that because I'm a student. So I went to the career center. I'm over here looking at jobs. I saw this flyer. It says hire UPS hiring to start 850, and then after your probation, you get a 50-cent raise, 950. And you just annual raises or whatever, and benefits and this and that. I'm like, wow. I was making 675 at that time to go to 850. It's a little bit of a jump, you know. And then you get benefits, union, and that's what sucked me in because at that time my dad was in the roofers union, and he goes, "Oh yeah, UPS is Teamsters. If I were you, I'd get in there." And so my cousin was already working at UPS also, and he ended up taking me to my interview. And he goes, "Hey, you tell him this, you tell him that, and you're good, man. You're golden." And I'm like, "All right, cool." I goes, I come out of my interview. He goes, "What happened?" He goes, "Oh, they're gonna call me in like a week or two," because he used to give tours of the facility every Thursday to people that are still interested. So they had called me like, "Hey, are you still interested in working here?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, we're gonna set you up for a tour of the hub." And at that time, this was 2004. We still had the old package cars, the old thousands, old 11s with the stick shift and the no power steering and the diesels and all that, right?
Right.
So we're sitting in the HR office filling out paperwork, and as soon as we go in there, it's like this big, crazy, loud facility, and I'm like, man, what am I getting myself into? Trucks coming in and out, and everybody's coming in. All the drivers are coming back for the twilight shift to do their the end of day stuff. And we went up we were walking through, we saw where they unload the package cars and then the small sort, and then went up these stairs and you could see all the conveyor belts and where the diverters and all that. I'm like, man, it's loud as hell in here. It was really loud. So we finished our tour, and then they showed us the load side, how they load trailers, and I'm like, damn, where the pallet jacks? Where are the forklifts? Where?
Yeah.
Everything's by hand, you know. So I was like, man, this is. Do I really want? I don't know.
Yeah,
but you know what I'm gonna do is so. Yeah, right. So they were like, well, if you're still interested, we'll give you a call back. And I lost my social security card, so I had to order another one. So my hire date was pushed back for that reason because I didn't have my thing. So come April 12th, 2004 was my hire date, and I was in the Cornerstone training class. I don't know if you guys, they would call it Cornerstone too or wherever, but we called it Cornerstone training, and they told me, okay, so you're gonna go to load side. I'm like, oh, okay. And then you load your trailers, doing the T's and the shelves, and your first Cornerstone package, and then block and brace, your small bags on top. So I finished my training, and they threw me in one of the heaviest load side system or PDs. The heaviest PD in the whole building as a new hire, and I'm like, man, I didn't make it. They ended up taking me somewhere else, and I was told that the guys that were in that area that supposedly they were taking bets on how long I would last. And I don't know who won. I don't know who won because I left the area, but I was still working there. And so I went to another PD and I started loading somewhere else, and I did load side, small sort. I didn't do small sort as much. The Metro unload, and then E-rigs. The last job I did before I went package, I was a shifter, but I was a backup shifter. So when they needed backups based on seniority, they would, hey, we need so and so up here to shift, and they paid you. Glenn Burrito, report to feeder, and I go up there, get my keys, and I go out to the yard. I'm like, man, I'm finally out this building, but like I'm not completely out yet. And this is probably like already my 10th year. My 10th year there. It took me 11 years to go full time. The whole recession and all that stuff, and a lot of us got held back because of that. But we're in it now. And then the HR came up to me, and then they're like, "Hey, you want to go driving?" I'm like, "Yeah," because I had submitted for air driver, cover driver, and full time driving. Oh, yeah. So at that time, there was a center that wanted me to go cover driving for them. So the HR guy's like, hey, I already took the class. I already did my class. I got my training. And he was like, you want to go drive over there in that center. And at the time it was called Pasadena Center. And he's like, yeah. He goes, oh, but the center manager wants to give you an interview. I was like, why do I need an interview? I thought I already did that 11 years ago when I first got hired here.
Yeah, right.
Shouldn't I already get in there? And so he was talking to me. He's like, so what can you bring to our center? And I'm like, wow, I don't know, but I just want to work. I want to get out of this building. I want to start driving. I just want to get out of here. And he's like, okay, we'll be in contact. Like it was a legit like job interview.
Weird.
I was like, you kidding me? So I ended up going air driving because back then we only had Saturday air. So I started air driving, and then I started taking shuttles at the end of our shift because our shift was twilight, and when the trailers couldn't contain or they couldn't pull up trailers, they would put up shuttles with the Wallies. They would put up Wallies, and they would load into them, and then we would continue the progress of those packages to another building. And when you did that, you would get paid ground pay. And I was like, well, yeah, I'll do that. And then I started doing that for a little bit. And at the times we were coming, there was a manager that would see me and my buddy come back. He's like, oh, you guys are ready. Would you guys like to work for me? I need Wally drivers during peak season to drop off, bulk stops and the Wallies. You take all your Wally, deliver. I'm like, okay, yeah. So he brought us in. That's the center I'm in now. But at that time, I was just an air driver. But I was an air driver making top rate. And at that time, top rate was 35. And I was like, oh, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, right.
But I guess they caught on. I'm like, you know what? We'll just promote you to full time because we can't keep paying you $35 an hour and stuff. So,
that's incredible. So were you on the local sort for 10 years?
11.
11 on the local sort.
Yeah, 11 years on the local sort.
I did.
So that means you've been driving for
10.
11 years? 10
No,
years now driving.
10. I've been driving for 10.
Yeah. Awesome. That's incredible, dude. That's pretty. I mean, that's a pretty wild story too. Just like getting in there, obviously having your cousin already there, and
was it made me laugh because of the 850 thing. Because that when I started, it was 850. I started in 2007, so it was still 850 at that point here. And I remember because I had made minimum wage at my seasonal job that I'd worked for a while. Because basically, I was in school. I played Division II football, but so I was able to work in the summers. Like I couldn't really do anything during, but I was coming from a minimum wage job, and I remember I was like, because I still had 3 semesters left of school. I was done playing football. I wasn't doing that anymore. But when they said $8.50 an hour, I was like, oh yeah. I was like thinking now they make. Now they start out like with 20. Well, they start out now like 20, 21, 22. Yeah, it was. I remember thinking $8.50 was a big deal too, man. I was like, hell yeah, I'll tell you.
Yeah, because at that time over here, I mean, minimum wage was $6.75, and then like it went up to $8.50 plus the benefits, and I was 18 and a half, no 19 and a half when I got hired there. So I started pretty young, and then for a 19-year-old to have full benefits and you're a part-time employee, that's nowhere else you would be able to find a job like that. And I don't think you can still find a job like that as a part-timer and get full covered benefits. You usually got to be full-time to get benefits anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't.
That's one of the benefits about this about this job is the person that's been working there for 6 months on the unload is getting the same benefits that the 30-year-old veteran or 30-year-old that the 30-year veteran driver is getting. Yeah, that's one of the greatest things about this job.
And down the road, that kid that they're at 6 months could potentially be in that same position as that guy that's 30 years in with that patch on his arm, and you know what I mean? That's what's cool about it. And I've always been humble at work. Because I know where I came from. I was a part-timer for a long time, and I've always dealt with like drivers that are kind of like to the part-timers. I'm like, nah, I swear to myself, I would never be like that. And because no, man, that's the same dirt that we chewed, you know. So
Yeah, I agree with you 100%, dude. Because I try and I've mentioned her so many times now at this point, but I've got the best loader that I've ever had, and so I have no complaints with the part. But dude, you're so right, because I wasn't there as long as you were, but I was still 7 years, so I saw a good bit. And dude, you're so right with how some drivers would treat like it would drive me. I would get pissed, and yeah, so I totally understand. I try to do the same here, but yeah, that I don't see it that much anymore. But I don't honestly. I would say because it doesn't happen, but really it's because I show up about 3 minutes before we start, so I wouldn't see shit anyway.
So is your is your like I know every local's different with the union stuff, but is your local the same thing where it's like you got to put in 30 years, and does a 30-year start from your hire date, or does it start from your like full-time seniority date? Do you know?
So with us, from my understanding, that your amount of years of part-time gets cut in half, and they honor half of that time. So I did 11. So what, 5.5, 6? Let's say 5.5. Those 5.5 years of part-time roll over towards full-time. So I got 10 years full-time. So those 5.5 goes. They honor it too. So technically, I got 15 years of full-time service right now. So I probably need another maybe 16 just to be safe, another 16 more years, and it'll go like that. It'll go. I'm pretty sure it'll go fast, dude. Because you know,
I've been there. I've been there for 11 years, and you said you've been driving for 10. And dude, just those 11 years for me, it just seems like it feels like yesterday I was out there training on like the training route. You know what I mean? But 11 years later, and here we are. It's crazy. It does. It really does go by quick.
I feel like if just yesterday I started, and it was 21 years ago, and it's like, you know, time goes by so fast. I mean, it went by really slow in the hub, but once you hit the streets and you go driving, dude, time goes by so fast, and it's like
it does, dude.
You're like, I'm already done with my route for the day. Oh damn, what time is it? Oh, 8:00. Oh damn, okay.
So that's what I always say. Like, dude, it's like UPS. Like, it's sad because I always say it's like, hey, if you're done before 7, man, that's an awesome day. It's like this one other. I mean, I wish that there was one thing that I wish they would, if they would allow us to start earlier, to not get back. But I don't know. I feel like the late starts benefit sometimes. Like, I know, like because like Dave, you're able to take, if you would need to take your boys to school, are you able? You're able to do that if you would have to, wouldn't you? Or it might put you a little bit behind, but because of like, I feel like there would be some advantages to, but yeah, man, if we could start, I feel like we just work like a midday. It's just like an afternoon shift almost, because I start, I think, 30 minutes earlier than Dave does. But like, if we start at 8:50 or 9 o'clock, it'd be like, even if we could start at 7, that would make a big difference. But
I would love it. I would love it if we could start earlier. That would be amazing.
Throughout the years, our start times over here has always been pushed forward. Now start time is 9:30. You don't leave the building till almost 10 o'clock. And then you still got to deliver your air. And it's like, what the hell? How am I supposed to deliver this air? Because I used to pull a TP60. So I got to go hook up my trailer, or go find the trailer, hook up to it, and then leave the building. And there's been times where I had to deliver my air with the trailer on my back. And I don't like doing that because I can do it because I'm pretty good at what I do with the driving and stuff, really driving safe. But like, I really don't like to do it, or especially like when I have that trailer on my back and I pull into Amazon and you see the heads going, "What's up with that?" Right. And like, hey, they just loaded up, man. This is loaded. I got like 500 pieces in here. Yeah, they really turned heads. I'm pulling in there with my trailer and I got to drop off this air, and then And I make these little maneuvers, and then like, damn, this guy, I can already feel it. Like, man, this guy is pretty badass.
Yeah. They have no
So
idea.
how big is the center you're in? Like, are you in one of like what? Do you know roughly about how many full-time drivers you have?
So when I first started, there was 4 centers in the whole building. It's a hub, so it's we had 2 shifts, a preload and a twilight. They tried to implement a day sort, but it didn't really work out. So they split our center because they built another building in La Mirada, California, and supposedly from La Mirada to some of the routes that were like in Rolling Heights, Walnut, Diamond Bar, Hacienda Heights, they thought it was closer, which is not. It's not closer. We're a lot closer, but what they did was they wanted to alleviate the amount of volume that's being brought back to this building, because we're City of Industry. City of Industry. It's its name. It's City of Industry. It's all industrial, heavy pickups and all that stuff. So we had I want to say like about 100 drivers. Then they split our center. I think we went down to maybe 70. I think about 70 drivers, almost 80 drivers. I want to say, I'm gonna assume, but yeah, we're a pretty big center. We used to be a lot bigger, but now we do more. We have more residential than business, because back in the days it was more industrial, and it was heavy. I used to drive a P12, and I would leave with my P12 full. Never left with less than 400 pieces to deliver. You know, it wasn't like 100 stops, but it was like 450, and it was all docks, nothing but docks, just back up to docks. And I could never walk down the middle until I started getting rid of bulk stops and stuff like that. So it was always like walk to the back, walk to the front, walk to the back, around to the side of the truck. But yeah, it was but my route now, I've been on this route for almost 6 years now. There's more residential. So I'm more in and out of the truck, more walking, more cardio, and I deliver by my mom's house. So my mom lives on my route, and I took that route, and so yeah, I did restrooms. You know, I could warm up my food, wash up my hands, and then summer I can cool off and stuff like that. So I can say that I have a retirement route, and I'm not even ready to retire yet, but that's a pretty juiced route.
Man, I need to get on it. Dave might have one too. I'm the odd man out here. I like my route, but it's not a retirement route, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was just this past week, actually, as we're recording this here, just this past week, I just started on this new route that I ended up bidding, because like you, I was on a route for like 6 years, and I ended up getting bid off of it by somebody else that had more seniority than me. And so for the last like year and a half now, I've kind of been like bouncing around, just trying to find like the right one, you know. And there was a route where this guy retired, and I used to cover that route when I was still a cover driver. And and I always said I was like, dude, this is the best route like on this loop out here. It's the best route. And I ended up winning the bid. And I just started out there 2 days ago, and it's like I was telling Luke, like as soon as I got out there my first day, I was like, yes. I was like, this is it. Like it was just this weird feeling that I had, and I was just like this is it. And the driver that just retired before me, I think he was on it for about 23 years.
Oh wow,
he was out there.
Yeah,
so I only have 19 years left. This guy did 23 out there. I could probably do 19 out there. So it's very possible I may have found my fucking, you know, hopefully my final route, you know, and I'm I'm just so much more happier out there.
You guys have to bid every year, or you sit on the routes?
Mine is every 2 years.
Okay.
Luke's local does every 1 year.
We're every year here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks, because like you could be on this juice route, and all of a sudden you bid next year, and some other dude will bump you off.
Right.
Yeah. I used to love. I mean, I enjoyed covering when I did it for a long time, because dude, I got I was able to bump. Not bump people. That's the wrong word, because I was lower seniority, but like I I got kind of a steel trap memory on things, and I wasn't so much able to like give directions, but once I would look at stops in a diad board, I was able to get routes down pretty well. So they would call, and they would call people above me, and they'd be like, "This route's available," but you'd have to run it in the blind, and nobody wanted to do that. So there was times where I worked a lot more than people above me did, just from area knowledge. But I couldn't do that because it was fun being younger, and I still would enjoy it now. But the hassle of not having, like, one day driving some piece of shit clunker truck, and then having a nice truck the next day, then going back to like driving a 500 one day and then maybe 1,000 the next. I don't think I could do that. I'm definitely a bid route guy, but I don't know if anybody, see, that's the thing, like, because my route's got a lot of pickups and a lot of heavy stuff. So really, I don't think anybody above me, seniority wise, would necessarily even want it, because it's not like there's easier routes to be had out there. I live where I live at. I'm not able to do it every day, but I can go home a lot during the week on my breaks and stuff. And my wife's a stay-at-home mom right now. My daughter's 3, so when she'll be in pre-K next fall, and start kindergarten up soon. So at least for another year, I'm gonna. That's why if it wasn't for that, my customers are awesome. I love the people, but if it wasn't for that, I probably would have left. found a more rural. I say rural route. I live in West Virginia, so to say a country route's kind of funny, but my route is way more. There's legit country routes out there where I can just drive around a lot more and not have to lift as much heavy shit. That's what I'm going to.
For sure.
That's what I'm going to shoot for one of these days.
That's pretty cool.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, dude.
No, I was just gonna say, we were talking about like routes, and like that's the way like this new route sort of is. Well, not as country as my old route was that I needed to get off of, but like the route that I'm on now, like I do a college in the morning, so that's like one bulk stop, and I got like the college, all the students are putting like 20 different addresses, so in the board on the computer at work, it says I have like 20 extra stops, but it's really one delivery location there at the college. So, it says I got like 132, but I'm only going out with like 112, know? So like, listen, that's a pretty neat thing too, with this route and all that. But yeah, but I'm sorry.
So
do
you guys sit on your, well, I know what I was going to ask, because what's your bidding like? Do you not, how does it go at your center? Oh shit, did we lose him? I think it.
Hold on.
No, we didn't. No, he's there. Okay.
I'm still here. My phone's searching for something. What the heck?
So you were talking about, is his center this, like, how often does his center bid? Or I've even heard there's even some centers that you don't even bid. Like once you're on it, you're on it.
Once you're on, I've heard that too.
Like I think the only way they get off is if they jump routes.
Was that Lars that told us that? Maybe. Lars is a California driver. I can't remember offhand where at, but
that may have been Lars' episode. Actually.
So when you bid on a route, is that your route to keep where you're at, or how does that work? How does bidding work at your building?
No, we don't have to bid. We sit on the route. We sit on routes over here. So like I've been on my route for 5 years, and then the one before that I was on it for like 2-3 years, and then they split our center up, and then my route got sent to a different building. I don't want to follow the work. That was too far, and I was like, I'll come back. I'll be utility again. I don't care. And then my buddy told me, I was on vacation actually, and my buddy calls me. He goes, "Hey, dude, are you coming back, or are you going to La Mirada?" He goes, "I'm trying to come back." He goes, "Dude, there's a route for bid." I go, for real? He goes, put my name on it. And that's my buddy right there. He gets his pen, he puts my name on it, and I bid on it, but he actually bid on it for
Nice.
me. But they should have called me. If there's, so my understanding, if you're on vacation and if you're interested, they'll call you, hey, there's a route up for bid. You're on vacation. Are you interested? I'll be like, yes or no. And then nobody called me, nobody reached out. My buddy's like, hey, there's a route up for bid. Do you want it? I put my name. He put my name up there for it, and
nice.
I had it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that is if you had that, Dave, you never would have had to have left New Paltz in the first place, man. You could have still been.
Yeah.
Imagine
Dave was a wanderer for a while. He was just sleeping all over the place till he found his way home again.
Found my way home again. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I looked out. The dude that was covering that route, he was a cover driver at that time. He wanted to bid on it, and obviously I won it because I got more seniority. But he thought for sure he was gonna get it, because for a while he was bitter towards me. I'm like, bro, you already know seniority rules, dude. You gotta have stripes,
man.
bro. Like,
can't get mad about it.
Don't take it to heart.
Exactly.
It's nothing personal. It is what it is. If somebody else would have bid it over me, I would have been like, hey, it is what it is, dude. I'll go back to utility. I didn't care. I liked the utility, like jumping on different routes and stuff like that, and it was cool,
Oh yeah. So I have to ask now, how did you get into the TikTok world?
So
what made you want to do that?
Just barbecuing. So I got it on there, and I started my algorithm with barbecue and grilling and smoking and stuff like that. And I started cooking myself, and then when I started cooking, I would record and I would try to. People are out here trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm just trying to pass the time, and show some of my techniques, of what I do. If other people can comment on what I'm doing wrong, I'll take it, as constructive criticism, especially from dudes that do it all the time and stuff like that. Yeah. So I never really got any negative comments, and then it just started blowing. It started going up and up, and then I would post here and there at work, but it was mostly my cooking, my barbecuing, and then I wasn't able to go live until they said that you had to have 1,500 followers, but then they had dropped it down to 800 followers and you can go live. And I started going live, but I wouldn't get a following or anything. But when I was at work, I would be at work and I was on my lunch and breaks. I go live. Oh man, I would get so many people in the room, and it's like, FedEx, Amazon, UPS drivers, other companies that deliver freight and all that, and then from other states and stuff like that. And you would have part timers that would ask questions like, "Hey man, I'm about to go driving. Is there anything I can do?" And I would be, like I said, with the humbleness, I try to give them the best advice as I could, and I would never discourage anybody, dude. I would never be like, nah, this and that. Tell them the negative. I would never tell them negative stuff, because those are my experiences. Their experience might be different. So I've never discouraged anybody, So,
right.
but yeah, and then here we are with the being on there for a while now, and I still I post here and there still. I go more live, but I got to get back into posting more cooking stuff and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Because the whole UPS thing, I'm not trying to really do a lot of posting on for work and stuff like that, because you can't really record at work and you're on the clock unless you're on break and stuff like that. But it's I don't want to get in trouble, dude. So I'm trying to do that.
Well, and that's
as we're talking to someone who records every day on the clock. I mean, off the clock. At work.
Dude, dude, I always record off. That's what I've always told people, because I had people, there would always be people be like, I don't know how, I'm like, dude, we have break times. I was like, we have 4 different times we can put our break in and a 10-minute paid break here. So I'm like, I don't do I backed off of stuff. Like, I never wanted to, basically when I started, like I always said that I didn't really want it to, this is what's funny because I've told this story before, and like, here I am. I've been doing a delivery podcast for 5 years, fully embrace the delivery community. But when I first started, I was going to steer clear of the delivery community because I was like paranoid kind of too. Like you had said, I was going to, like, my wife had given me an idea of just like she's like, you would be funny because I would rant on Facebook here and there, and she was like, you should make an Instagram account. You think it'd be pretty funny, yada yada, whatever. And I'm like, yeah, we'll take a peek into it. And yeah, when I started, I was going to stay away from delivery people because I was like, my concept was, I was like, I want my page, because it was going to be like not a personal page, but like not really a character, just not using my government name more than anything. And I just was like, I work at UPS so much, it's going to be impossible to avoid not recording in a UPS truck and stuff. So I was going to be like, it's like I'm talking to you at a bar, sitting on a bar stool somewhere, but I'm in a UPS truck. So yeah, when I started, I was like, I'm not going to get involved in the cardboard community. And then I fully got 1,000% involved. And I'm glad that I did, because there's a lot of great people out there. And that's what's been the most fun about this podcast and doing it, is getting to interview people like yourself and getting to hear people's stories. And that it makes me laugh now thinking that I was like when I first started, I was like going to try to avoid that. But it's like, we're just one big melting pot because we all do the same job, no matter where we're from. I mean, we're literally from one side of the country to the other. And, and then Dave and I are on the East Coast, but he's like, he's what, 8 hours away from me. So it's like, if we're able to, share the experiences and stuff. So yeah, to think about it now, and I just use the podcast on TikTok, but our TikTok page basically blew up from a dog. That the dog jumped it, and then we've made some good videos, but I always say that fucking, we had a dog on my route that looks like the Sandlot dog, and that one, that dude just put a rocket on his back and launched it. We didn't even know what we were doing, and we were like, dude, this is easy. We're getting all kinds of followers, and then it's it's like the stuff goes away. And you're like, oh, it's kind of, but dude. It's like, I feel like the same thing like you though, dude. I mean, I like to think of it more as passing the time, and just trying to make people laugh than trying to be an actual influencer. Because I feel like a lot of, and I'm not going to say this with all of them, but I feel like a lot of those people that are quote unquote influencers are, I don't know how genuine they are. I just want to be real with people. You know what I mean? I don't like fake. And I know that's kind of dumb to say in the social media world because there's a lot of fake shit on there. But for me, myself, to try to reflect. So I totally understand what you're saying about passing the time and just wanting to do it. And I feel like I think that's honestly, I think that's what draws people to like want to follow you. Ironically, was when you do, like, because when I saw your TikTok page from the podcast page, and I was like, seen a few videos over time. I was like, dude, this guy's fucking hilarious. I think we should try to get this guy on. So yeah, I mean, it worked for me.
Right. Yeah, like the one that I made where the guy, when it's what's his name, Theo Von's voice.
Theo,
because I remember that dude. And I was sitting there, I'm like, what? And like I just throw myself out of the truck. Like, it looked like I just jumped out of the truck, and this guy is, whatever. I didn't even think about any of that. And then I had posted another one where It's from Ace Ventura when he's running. He's trying to find the rings, and he's chasing that guy. He puts the chloroform, and then the headline says, "When you come back, or when they leave piss bottles and this and that in your truck," and that's the driver. And you're like, like, because he's so mad. Because in some of that stuff, some of those cap cut videos, like you can kind of relate to it because that's how you feel with your coworkers sometimes. Like they don't gas up your shit or they don't get rid of your trash. I don't expect anybody to wash my truck. That's on them. But at least put gas in the truck and throw away your trash, dude. Don't leave it messy. Because when I was a utility driver, I never did that. I always filled up, except if a driver didn't fill up before he left. So like if a driver knew he was off the next day and I was gonna cover his route, he didn't gas up. When I came back, I wouldn't gas it up. Cause he knew I'm not coming back. Why would I gas up? I'm okay.
Dude,
hey, Glenn, how come you didn't put gas in my truck? You did my route yesterday. I go, yeah. You left it the same way, so I left it the same way. How about that? Damn it! Absolutely. What the f- is up with this?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like growing up, it was all, or growing up, I feel like just with the job starting off too, it was like something where it's like keep the truck, cleaner than, or leave it in better condition than when you found it, kind of thing. But yeah. I don't think that applies much anymore.
Nah, nobody cares, bro. Like, exactly. I got drivers that you can't find your fob and it's in the back, or there's like no gas in your truck, and it's like I don't even get mad. I just whatever. I'll go gas up my shit and then I'll take off, and I'll use it to my advantage. Like, what took you so long in your AM time? I go, I had to go get gas. I go, there was no gas in my truck. Like, he goes, why not? I go, well, I don't know. Ask the driver that did it yesterday.
Before me.
Ask whoever covered my route the day before why there was no gas in the truck. You know what I mean? So
true.
Yeah,
so true.
For sure.
Luke, we've been running on about an hour now, buddy. I was curious, do you have anything else for our dear friend here?
I think I don't know. I think we covered bases pretty good. I'm glad we started it out. I'm glad we had to. I'm glad we started it out with the Dodgers. I like how we did that, dude, because I feel like I'm glad we started with that first and then went into the UPS stuff, because that was kind of crazy how all that worked out, dude. It was so nuts how that worked out. So now I'm good this way, brother. I'm good.
Awesome. Glenn, thank you so much, buddy, for coming on and hanging out with us, dude.
Yeah.
Real quick though, don't hang up when we say goodbye. We like to say goodbye off air, right? So just stick around for a second here with us.
Yeah, for sure.
And listen, guys, you want to go follow him? Go follow him on TikTok at Glenn Papa with 2 N's, right? GLENN.
Yeah, 2 N's.
Awesome. Well, Glenn, thank you so much again. Everybody, like I said at the top, if you're interested in becoming a part of the Patreon family, go to patreon.com/AITDpod. Also the Discord as well. Come hang out with all of us. You can find all those links in the episode notes. Glenn, thank you again. Luke, and I'm Dave. Everybody, be safe out there. We'll see you all next week.
Later, everybody.